Jesus is like a key. If you are going back to the
See that?
other religions, like why can't you just like believe in something else and then make that like isn't that seeking God? Aren't we all like one? And we're all one in the sense that we're all flesh and blood and we're made in the image of whatever this thing is, that created all of us, which is what we call God. And basically, Jesus is the only one that says, "Hey, I am God in person. Like I came down onto earth and I'm basically giving you the key to my house where you can spend all of eternity with me and being in my presence, there is nothing but joy and love and peace. And if you're not in my presence, well, because I am the definition of that, you're not going to experience any of that, which leads to the gnashing of teeth and everything. So if there's one guy saying, I'm the only one with the key to my own house, I created all of this. Do you feel like it's bigoted to say that that's the only way?
What do you mean by, I guess, what do you mean by bigoted to say?
Or to say like, oh,
I'm trying to,
is it not like loving basically to say like, well, why can't I just go and worship this other thing? And like, why do I have to go to hell if I don't believe in your version of Jesus or in your God?
oh, okay. I'm doing something I don't normally do, and that is I'm thinking before I speak. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, that's just willfully choosing not to. That is, I mean, I think some, hit my mic. I think some nuance would be needed. For instance, what thing? What would be the other interpretation? So, if you are going to worship a separate God, usually there's some type of hedonistic, impure thing that is happening because of it in a lot of religions. I'd
Hmm.
make that argument that there is some type of hedonistic or other sin. There's a reason that you feel called to it. They do that because I can do whatever it may be. So I feel like it would be bigoted if that was the reason for sure. If it was, oh, hey, I can smoke weed with this other religion and not, nobody blinks, nobody cares. So cool. Or I can do as much drugs as I want and it's part of the religion. It's cool. That's a different interpretation than that. Yeah, that would be bigoted because to me, that's outwardly denying Christ because of a part of the world so what I'm wrestling in my head with is the belief on the other side if it's still living God's purpose. It just has a different name. That's where I'm thinking. That's where I'm like, I don't know if I have an answer. I don't know if again because I don't know the true answer. I mean, the obvious answer is
Right.
yes, it is because it's not Christ. But the thing that I think about is like if it's Christ but a different name, that is what is. But as far as I know, I mean, I guess that would be a different circumstance. But as far as I know, there is no other comparable. So my guess would be 9 times out of 10, it's for some hedonistic idea.
Right. Right.
I'm gonna go live this because I can have 10 wives.
Right.
I can do this because
Always
they allow
self-serving.
me to drink beer. And I'd even make the argument that that can happen in Christianity itself.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
I want to drink, so I'm not going to be a Baptist. It's
Hmm.
true story. I used to drink massively. I'm actually like I would honestly put myself not an official alcoholic, but used to be back in the day, part of like layover from college partying.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I haven't
Yeah.
ever since I pretty much when I met my wife, I realized that this is a bunch of poopy. I'm not going to curse, a bunch of poopy, and I need to be done with it. So I was done with it, and not for any religious reason. I was not religious at the time. It was just for my own benefit, and that's where I feel that there's that issue. Is if you are choosing an aspect of the world because you make that as important as part of your faith, that's where I'm like, okay, that's not okay.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think? Did that
Yeah.
make any sense whatsoever?
Yeah, it did. I think that it does come down a lot of times to something self-serving, or it's just a traditional thing you do, but your heart's not in it, or your heart's in it, but you don't question it, like you were saying. Like a lot of people just don't question their own beliefs. And I feel like if you are open to proving yourself wrong, you will eventually, I genuinely, my heart believe you always eventually end up with Christ being the answer. I got into Christianity because I constantly was trying to disprove it. I was disproving everything I could possibly disprove. And
Yep.
Christianity was the one where it's the only one where when you try to disprove it more and more and more, you only end in like with an honest, genuine heart, and you're not trying to also prove your own bias at the same time, you will end up in a further place than you started and be like, wow, I feel like it makes more sense than I thought originally.
Yeah.
Like the Case for Christ book by Lee Strobel, like a great book if you're an atheist or agnostic and you're questioning things. Because he's a award-winning journalist in the 70s and he's super atheist. He cannot stand that his wife is like has this relationship with God and is Christian, and he tries to prove her wrong so hard that he goes and interviews all the world's top minds on why they believe in Jesus and their specific research on each area, and he comes to Christ through that experience. My experience is kind of somewhat similar, not anywhere near that level, but kind of similar. And I feel like a lot of times, agnosticism and atheism to me, the only difference is like one is you don't want to see God as an option, and one is you are open to it, but you're not really there.
Oh, absolutely.
With so many religions, how do we know which idea of hell is actually right, too?
So I have an idea. Why don't we do a part two? And I think we kick it off with that. This is a big topic for a 1 hour episode. This is
It
a
is.
massive topic.
I feel like this
We were,
is
what
too
were we
ambitious.
thinking? We're so silly. What are we
I'll
doing?
I'll disprove everything about hell in like 5 minutes, man.
Right? We'll do this
Good.
in an hour. We'll be good. I think we do part two because I think there's still questions that you have. There's some more questions. There's about 5 that have popped in my head.
Yeah, I want to hear all of your thoughts.
Let's do what are we calling it? Truth, justice, and the divine way. And then why would a just God send people to hell? Let's do part two.
I would like to also describe like what hell actually is biblically, like instead of like the memes of hell and all that, like what it actually
Right.
is.
What is hell?
Right. And why
do
this
now, or-
world cannot be just hell, you know?
Yeah. Who's to say it's not? Yes. Oh, we get to say yes now that we are on YouTube. Like and subscribe down below.
You're so excited to say it. Well,
I'm
this
so
is my
excited.
chance.
Yes, this is it. Please click that like button. Or what does Mr. Ballin do where he's like, he'll just find a different scenario. He'll be like, hold the like button at gunpoint and decide to like do all these
Oh
different
my
like,
gosh.
he'll just go on like this drastic thing. But yes, subscribe, get ready for part two, and we will be good to go.
Yeah.
And
This is getting ramping up. I feel like we were going to start off strong. I feel like we started off warming up and now we're going to get stronger and stronger. It's going to get more intense.
right, ain't that the truth?
All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Get ready for part 2. We are the Saved Skeptics.
See you.